guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another celebrating Bowie video. Like I told you, it's been 10 years since we've lost David Bowie this year, and the world's gone to shit since he's left us. But today we're celebrating his life and his career this year. So I'm putting up one video a month. I'm trying to, fingers crossed, every month for the rest of this year. We've done my top 10 favourite Bowie albums. We've done a close look at Ziggy Stardust. We've done how I discovered and fell in love with David Bowie when I was young. So today we're going to be, if you remember my top 10 favourite Bowie albums, my number one was Hunky Dory. So today we're going to be having a close look at the journey to Hunky Dory. Now, when I did the Ziggy Stardust one, it was really cool because there's a number of releases around that album. Sadly, there's no other sort of releases around this album, but I'll go through what I do have in sort of connection to Hunky Dory and the journey to it. So we won't waste any time. We'll have a deep down look at Hunky Dory by David Bowie. Right, so here we are, guys. This is a closer look at Hunky Dory. Obviously, this album is my favourite David Bowie album, I believe from 1971. So we're going to have a close look at it. Unfortunately, there's not enough big releases like there was with Ziggy Stardust, with the live album. There wasn't a live album. There was an Aylesbury concert, which we will look at shortly. But this is the original album, Hunky Dory. Which is absolutely fantastic. The track on this album, side one, you have Changes, Oh You Pretty Thing, 8-line poem, Life on Mars, Kooks, Quicksand, Fill Your Heart, Andy Warhol, Song for Bob Dylan, Queen Bitch and the Bowie Brothers. Fantastic album, and it was produced by Ken Scott. Absolutely wonderful. It's such an incredible album. This is from the 5 years box set, so this will be on a gold disc, as you can see. And they've replicated the RCA sort of label with the word Bowie down the side there, in a replica, in a sleeve, which slips into the album cover. So that is Hunky Dory. But let's have a little look at this. This is another box set. Let's lift this up a bit. This is called Divine Cemetery, which was released not too long ago, and it covers the workings up to Hunky Dory. So this is the journey to Hunky Dory. It's a wonderful box set. Just like the other set, it comes with a student notebook. And it also comes with a book with the CDs in it, which we will come to in a minute. So let's have a look at this booklet first. So just like the other booklet, it's got loads of stains. This is all handwritten notes and stuff from David Bowie back in this time, and doodles that he done, and also song lyrics of different songs that he did. Like I say, this is nothing groundbreaking, but it's historically important, I think, of the time. Bowie showing, all of his sort of information, writing it all down in these sort of books, not just lyrics. I think there was also set lists in here, costs about hiring, sort of different sort of like equipment. There's all sort of wonderful things on here. We have some chords there. That's for a song for Bob Dylan. Like I said, it's a really nice sort of interesting book, which is really, really cool. I love this sort of stuff. And Bowie being very flamboyant straight away for it, really, in his career. Song breakdowns. Here we go. It's about the cost it is for the studio, for the hours, for the tapes and everything for that sessions. All this sort of wonderful information. And different breakdowns of how he wants the tracks to be performed. And here we have all the costs for hiring the instruments for the different sessions. Really cool sort of stuff this is. I love this sort of information, and the fact that this is all written by David Bowie's handwriting, it's really cool. Yeah, obviously it's not his real one, it's a copy, you know, it's been photocopied obviously for this booklet, but it's just wonderful to have if you're a Bowie fan. Really, really cool. So that is the booklet that comes with it. So we'll have a look at the main booklet that comes with the set, which is incredible. Wonderful picture of David there on the front. Absolutely love that. This is the back cover of the set. So it comes with CDs and Blu-rays. So we have 4 CDs and a Blu-ray disc. So let's have a look at CD1 first. And this has the Songwriters Demos Plus. There we go. It's on the white label in mono and in stereo, including the tracks Tired of My Life, How Lucky You Are, Shadow Man, Looking for a Friend, Waiting for the Man, Quicksand, King of the City demo, Song for Bob Dylan demo, Right on the Mother demo, Quicksand demo, Queen Bitch demo, Kooks demo, Amsterdam demo, and Life on Mars demo, and bonus dubs of Changes and Bombers. That's disc 1. On disc 2, which is Tom's a brown caramel colour, we have David Bowie recorded. This is the BBC Radio in concert. So this is a concert, mono. The first one was David Bowie and Friends. This is the John Peel concert with the tracks Queen Bitch, Bombers, The Superman, Looking for a Friend, Almost Grown, Kooks, Song for Bob Dylan, Andy Warhol, It Ain't Easy, and a stereo mix of Queen Bitch, The Superman, Looking for a Friend, Kooks, Song for Bob Dylan, Andy Warhol, and It Ain't Easy. So that's recorded live for the John Peel live sessions. Absolutely wonderful. And at the back we have the other discs. So on this disc 3 we have the BBC radio sessions and live. We have the sounds of the 70s with Bob Harris, and that includes the tracks The Superman, Oh You Pretty Things, 8-Line Poem, Kooks, Fill Your Heart, Amsterdam, and Andy Warhol. And then we have the live at Aylesbury, the 25th of September 1971, with the introduction, Fill Your Heart, Buzz the Fuzz, Space Oddity, Amsterdam, The Superman, Oh You Pretty Things, 8-Line Poem, Changes, Song for Bob Dylan, Andy Warhol, Looking for a Friend, Round and Round, and Waiting for the Man. Great disc. Disc 4 is alternative mix and single versions. We've got promo mixes of Oh You Pretty Things, 8-Line Poem, Kooks, Queen Bitch, Quicksand, and Bombers. We have Lightning Frightening, The Man, Amsterdam Early Mix, Changes Mono Mix, Andy Warhol Full Length Mono Mix, Amsterdam Single B-Side Mix, and Life on Mars 2016 Mix. Then we have the 2021 mixes of Changes, Life on Mars, Quicksand, Fill Your Heart, Bombers, Song for Bob Dylan, and the Bowie Brothers. And it doesn't contain the whole album of Hunky Dory. That you have to buy separately, but you do have it on the Blu-ray. You do have the Blu-ray mix of the album in its remastered format from 2015, and the Divine Symmetry, which is all the alternative journey, which is pretty much all the tracks on here, plus sounds of the 70s with Bob Harris, which is also on here. It's all audio, no video. So they are the discs. So we'll have a look at the book. So here we are, guys. We're going to look at the book part of Divine Symmetry by David Bowie. So we've had a look at the CD discs, which are really, really cool. This book is set out very much like the same one in Rock and Roll Star. It starts off with a quote from David saying, "It's my own particular form of rebellion. I don't like being like anyone because I'm so much like everybody else. That's such a downer at times because one likes to assert one's individuality. I don't want to be a yippie," wherever that is. "I don't want to be straight. I just want to be anybody." And then we have his Pharaoh look that was, I think, was going to originally be his hunky-dory look. These photos were taken by Brian Ward. There's a picture of David at home there on his piano at Hayden House. After the struggle of the man who sold the world, Hunky Dory was the album where I said, yes, I understand what I've got to do now. This talks about his contract signing with Chrysalis Music. And there's an early demo disc. Now obviously we had demo disc CDs in our period, but before that it was demo cassettes, and before that it was demo actual vinyls. And this is a breakdown of the songwriting demos, which is on disc 1, telling you all the people that have performed on the songs. David at Holiday Inn. So it breaks down everything that's on the discs, which is really, really cool. Talks about the Amsterdam, the Jacques Brel song. And this is going on about the song he wrote, "Oh You Pretty Things," was covered by another artist, which was distributed by the artist. "The singer sang my song very well, and I like to hear them singing them. That pleases me." Yeah, he wrote the song "Oh You Pretty Things," but the record company released it under Peter Noon, and David actually quite likes it. And there he is standing in front of a billboard of the single on Rank Records. It must be a bit of an honour when another singer sings your songs. I would look at it as an honour. Anyway, this is a breakdown of the concert of John Peel and Friends from the BBC programme. There's the actual, that would have been the disc that was sent out to the DJ to play on the actual record. It says "Pick up a pops for your DJ," so it's the record that would have been given to them to play on live on the actual radio. And there's the letter that Bowie would have got saying about the what songs were going to be played from that set that he recorded. But I believe the actual recording on here is the whole set. You got it in mono and stereo. Amazing picture of David there. I would love that as a poster. It'd be so cool. I don't listen to rock music, you see. I'm not very musical, but I find music just a platform for my own fringe lunacies of thought. That's such a cool picture. Now these are pictures taken from the photo shoot for the reverse cover of Hunky Dory. This is Ken Scott talking about the producing the album and the songs on there. Demo tracks again for the album. These are the this is the Gem promotional album. So this is the Bow promo mixes, which we have on these discs. So it was released as like a little promo album to promote the tracks before it became Hunky Dory, and that's him performing live at Country Club, Hampstead Heath. There's an advert with him there at Country Club. Photos from the Country Club. Cool pictures of David there. This is about the sounds of the 70s now, the Bob Harris session recorded at Shepherd's Bush, Kensington House, 1971. And this now goes on about the Aylesbury concert. This is in September 1971, which we have the full concert on the box set, with different posters from the venue, supported by America, and the tickets for 50p. That's the original album cover, but in a black and white form, which I think is fantastic, which would have been a better cover, but there we are. Hunky Dory was the next step. I don't think it had any through line, but I think I was getting nearer to what I wanted to do, which was to create this alternative world. Again from Bowie's, from the cover of the album shoot. Press release on the album. My songwriting is certainly not an accurate picture of how I think at all. Great picture of Bowie there. Some Japanese releases of a Andy Warhol single, which obviously didn't get released here as a single. We Had Changes, Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars, I believe, were the singles, and maybe even Queen Bitch, I'm not sure. Different promotional stuff around the album, and Changes, the single. And his press reviews. Another great picture of David. So it's a very in-depth book. Very, very cool. Incredible photos. I'm wondering if they're going to be doing any more of these. I hope so. Because I love this one, and I also love the Rock and Roll Star. Really cool books. Now this is when David started to grow his hair, well, cut his hair to the mullet, the famous mullet, which became Ziggy Stardust, if you remember. So he's cut his fringe and turned it into like a bit of a mullet. Which would later go on to be his Spiders from Mars haircut. And then we have a breakdown of what's on the Blu-ray disc, with pictures of different demo disc tapes. And here is the complete breakdown of every track, where it was recorded, who produced it, when it time it was recorded, and what studio it was recorded in. Really in depth. And then we have the credits of this book, and then we've got obviously the other 3 discs at the back. So that is the entire book. Let's pop it away. Pop that book in first. And there we have it. There's a closer look at Hunky Dory and the journey to Hunky Dory. So once again, another long video. I'm sorry, but it's an important album to me. You know, this was my first love, was with David Bowie in music, and it came to light with this album, and it's been my favourite album since I first bought this album, which was about 1976. I bought this album. About 1976, maybe 77. So this album is, what, 50, 60 years, so 76, 86, 96, 2006, 50 years old to me. I've been in love with this album for 50 years, and it's been my favourite Bowie album all those years. Really important to me. So I'm sorry it's a long video, but there you have it. I love David Bowie. Massive shout out to my lad. Speak to you soon.